up, everybody? It's Thursday, November 3rd. Last Saturday on the 29th, I competed at the IFPA's Pro World Championship, the Orton Cup. The show went really well. I had a great time there. Placed 7th out of 11 in the middleweights, so pretty proud of that. It's not a top 5 finish. I was kind of hoping for a top 5. I was just, kind of hoping I could get into the top 5, but seeing so many great athletes there, just not my time yet. It's going to take a little bit more, probably a good off season or two before I really can move up in placings, but I am pretty happy and content with where I landed. Just so many great athletes. Backstage, I was talking with Alberto, just like everywhere you looked, left, right, forward, back, that there was just awesome athlete after awesome athlete. So just to be up there with those guys is an honor in itself. Pretty proud of that fact. And to think back to December 6th when I started this prep close to a year ago, that at 206 pounds that I would be on the Orton Cup world stage. I didn't even think that when I started. So I accomplished quite a bit in this prep, this whole season. Some of the highlights was getting to compete with my brother again. It was the first time we competed since, I want to say, 1999 together on stage at the same time. So that was pretty awesome. At the Modesto show here, a local show at MPC, we both did the Masters together. We both did the Open. He won the lightweight, I won the middleweight. So we got to do the overall together. That was a highlight. And that show as well, I got to dedicate my posing routine to my stepfather. So that show was awesome. And then from there, I went and did in Kansas, I did the IFPA Pro International. That was my first pro show. Got to spend the weekend with Alberto, Brad, my teammates, Ken, Melissa, Brad's wife, Jamie. We had a great time. Just spending that time with those guys was awesome. So, and then the show itself, I got to meet some nice athletes, and I got to place second place in my first pro show, so I'm pretty proud of that fact, and that qualified me for the Orton Cup. So I achieved that goal, so that was awesome. But yeah, just that whole weekend with all of my friends, that was so much fun. And then from there, it was on to the MPC San Francisco, and it was my second opportunity to compete with my brother. And that show was so much fun. Local show there, so my family and friends got to attend, so that was awesome. My brother and we placed first, second in Masters, and then my brother won the bantamweights. I got to win the middleweights. So again, it was our second overall together of the year, and just to say you did 2 overalls with your brother, it doesn't get any better than that. So that show for me was one of the highlights of my season. I would say more so than the Orton Cup, just because getting to do it with my brother, having family in attendance, so that was pretty awesome. But the Orton Cup was pretty close, so I would have to say they're a tie looking back on it. Yeah, the final show of the year was the Orton Cup. Um, I flew out with Alberto and Melissa on Wednesday night. We arrived, and then Thursday morning we weighed in. Actually, on Wednesday, because of the travel time, I didn't really eat a lot during the day because of the traveling, and my fluid intake was a little low. So when I got to the hotel, I went ahead and polished off about 250 grams of carbs out in one sitting, and it was the last night to really. I had a can of Pringles, and it was my last day before I had a lot of high sodium, so I took advantage of that and had a whole can of fat-free Pringles. So you could imagine what I looked like in the morning, a little bit bloated, a little bit spilt, but it's Thursday, still had 2 days of cleanup, so I wasn't too worried about it. But I happened to weigh in, and weigh-ins, I weigh in about 176, so it was pretty high, and I had a feeling I was going to be a middleweight, and I wasn't too concerned about it. I was just like, whatever, I'm here. It is what it is, nothing I can do about it, so I was going to just enjoy myself. So we did have an opportunity to weigh in the next day, but I just decided not to. I didn't see the point. I just figured I was going to have fun whether I was a lightweight or a middleweight. And that is my phone. But anyway, Thursday we kind of just after that we kind of just hung around. Went to the gym, went to the local Gold's Gym there. We did a lower body circuit. Got to hang out with, met up with Paul Colbos. I hope I pronounced your name right, but great guy, lot of energy, and we got to do Alberto and I, and got to meet Brett Freeman in person finally, and we all got in a lower body circuit, so that was pretty awesome. And I can't forget Eric Ruiz too. Eric, you're an awesome guy, a lot of potential, and it was great hanging out with you. But we all got to work out on Thursday and Friday. We did an upper body circuit on Friday, so just hanging out with those guys for 2 days made the experience pretty awesome. So yeah, I mean that's what it's all about, is sharing the journey, sharing your experiences. And I know looking back on the Orton Cup, it's not going to be, I placed seventh, or I should have been placed higher, I should have made lightweight, whatever. All that stuff, it doesn't even matter. I mean, when I look back on it, I just remember the times I shared with the friends and stuff that were there. So it's the experiences. Even with past shows from years ago, when I look up at trophies, I don't look at the placard where it says first, second, third, fourth. When I think back on the shows, it's the experience I remember most. So that's how I kind of have my mindset when I went on to do the Orton. Yeah, it's a big show, a world title, but I kind of didn't have that feeling of that pressure of being that. My main focus was just to go and have a good time, treat the show like it was a local show, and that's exactly what I did, and I had a great time. But anyway, let's get to the day of the show. It was an early 8 o'clock in the morning prejudging start, so and the weather there in Washington was pretty cold. It was actually snowing that day, so backstage it was pretty cold. They didn't really have any heaters going. The building's made out of concrete blocks, so you could just imagine how cold it is standing there in your Speedos. So very tough to get warm. But anyway, I mean, that's part of the experience that I'll look back on